Hi everyone, and welcome back to English for You. I'm Pat.
I'm Chickling.
Yesterday, we introduced a show about the British chef Jamie Oliver.
And on this show, he travels to different parts of the world in search of food that's both delicious and healthy.
He shows people how the food is made so they can try to taste the dishes, or at least similar ones that are very like them, at home.
And it won't be easy for people to try the pasta he found in Sardinia, Italy, though.
That's because only 10 people in the whole world know how to make it. Its name means strings of God in English.
And the pasta is cooked in lamb soup and it's served with cheese.
Jamie was blown away by it. It's the best pasta he's ever tasted.
It's also healthy, and the pasta is one secret to why people in Sardinia live so long.
What food will Jamie discover next? Let's read through day 2 of the article to find out.
Reading.
Jamie's Superfood Family Classics. On his next trip, Jamie travels to Jeju, South Korea, to taste some kimchi. Koreans call it the spice of life and eat it with almost every meal. Kimchi is known to keep the stomach in tip-top shape. Jamie learns that the key to making good kimchi is time. After a lot of spices are added to the dish, the kimchi is stored in a cool place. The longer you leave it there, the better it will taste. Jamie's last stop is Switzerland. There, he tries capuns, a food that's rich in vitamin K. The chef who makes this dish for Jamie tells him it has been in his family for hundreds of years. After being boiled, fresh charred leaves are stuffed with a mixture of meat, flour, and cheese. In the end, capuns look like little green dumplings. Jamie loves the flavor and finds them unique. To learn about more delicious foods that are good for you, watch Jamie's Superfood Family Classics on TLC.
Part 2 of the article starts by saying, on his next trip, Jamie travels to Jeju, South Korea, to taste some kimchi.
Next, the article says, Koreans call it the spice of life and eat it with almost every meal.
A spice is a nice-smelling or strong-smelling vegetable plant that's used to flavor food. Spices can be mild, but they can also have strong and hot flavors. Pepper is a kind of spice, as is chili. Sometimes spices can be seeds, leaves, or even the roots of plants. At other times, the plant is turned into powder and added to dishes. We call a dish spicy if it has a lot of spices in it. And when we say it's spicy food, we usually mean that it has a hot taste.
Okay, 所以 spicy 就是很辣的意思，大部分就是指东西辣，我们就会说 spicy food. OK, 所以 spice 就是香料跟调味料的意思哦。那我们就可以说，印度菜呢通常包含了许多不同的香料，就可以说 Indian food usually includes a number of different spices. So in our article, we're using it as a noun. However, it can also be used as a verb, which means to flavor with spice or make something more exciting or interesting. So you can say, the soup was heavily spiced. 这个汤加了好多调味料哦。So what do we mean when Koreans say kimchi is the spice of life?
Well, in the same way that real spices add heat or flavor or excitement to food, we can call something the spice of life if it makes life more exciting. And in this case, we could also use, like you said, spice as a verb and say spice something up, make it more interesting, make it a bit more exciting.
所以像老师说啦 we say 我们就可以说 spice up something, spice or something up, 就是代表说我们把一些刺激的元素啊，或者是兴奋 让一个东西变得更好玩、更有趣。所以你就可以说 She spiced up her novel with a bit of violence， 就是她在她的小说里面加了一些暴力元素，让它更精彩。Alright, so what else do we know about kimchi?
The article says kimchi is known to keep the stomach in tip-top shape. The phrase in tip-top shape is today's shortcut for you, so let's listen to a conversation which explains this phrase and how we can use it.
Shortcut for you.
Did you take the bus again?
No, I drove here.
So your car is fixed now?
Yes, it was expensive to get it fixed, but now it's in tip-top shape.
Oh, they put a shape on the top of your car? Was it a triangle? That's my favorite shape.
Mine is a circle. But that's not what tip-top shape means.
No?
The phrase in tip-top shape means excellent or perfect, in great condition.
Ah, in tip-top shape means 处于绝佳状态.
Right. Hey, are you feeling better?
Yes, although I was sick yesterday, my stomach is in tip-top shape now.
That's good to hear.
Thank you.
So if something is in tip-top shape, it's in great shape, meaning it's healthy, it's happy, and it's doing very well indeed.
Okay, 所以下面呢，我们的 article 又说了 Jamie learns that the key to making good kimchi is time.
So let's check out the process of making it. We see that after a lot of spices are added to the dish, the kimchi is stored in a cool place. So if something is added to something, it's put into something you already have, like adding whipped cream on top of a latte.
所以前面说到 Jamie learns that the key to making good kimchi is time， 就是说做好吃的泡菜关键其实是在于时间上的控制。所以在所有香料都加完之后呢 after a lot of spices are added to the dish， 这些泡菜就要被放在比较阴凉的空间哦。那我们再看一下刚刚的那个文法 after 跟 before 我们这两个的用法分别是表示在什么之后跟在什么之前，所以你可以说 before you hand in the test double check your answers， 就是在交出考卷之前记得要再检查一次。 before 跟 after 就是主要是在什么之后跟在什么之前的意思。
Alright, so let's carry on with the kimchi making process. The article says, the longer you leave it there, the better it will taste.
And next, the article goes on to a new place and a new kind of food. It says, Jamie's last stop is Switzerland.
And what food will he find there? The article says, there he tries capons, a food that's rich in vitamin K. If something is rich in a thing, it just contains a lot of that thing.
And in this case, the food is rich in or contains a lot of vitamin K.
So a vitamin, and people from the UK will often say vitamin. Both are okay, it's just different countries. A vitamin is a special kind of chemical that's very important in helping the human body grow and work properly. There are many different vitamins, and they're often given letters, such as A, B, C, and so on. Vitamin D is good for your bones, for example. Vitamin K is also good for your bones, and in addition, it keeps your blood thick and stops you from bleeding too much when you're cut. It's important to get a lot of vitamins in your diet, as the body can't make the ones it needs, or all of them by itself.
所以 vitamin 就是有维他命跟维生素的意思。那维生素 A 我们就会说 vitamin A， 那维生素 B 就是 vitamin B， 就是以此类推啦。所以你就可以说水果啊有很多维他命 C 哦，我们就可以说 fruits contain vitamin C。那也可以直接说 fruits are rich in vitamin C. So before we learn what capons are, let's see what else Jamie discovers. The article says the chef who makes this dish for Jamie tells him it has been in his family for hundreds of years.
Okay, so that sounds pretty cool. It's an old recipe, but what are capons? The article explains the recipe. It says, after being boiled, fresh charred leaves are stuffed with a mixture of meat, flour, and cheese. Okay, listeners, I'm going to ask you to sort of bear with us here because there are 5 different words in this sentence that we need to teach you about.
OK, 让我们再来讲一下这个文法的部分，我们再深入探讨一下。所以 after 和 before 引导的副词子句跟主要子句的主词一致的时候，我们就可以省略从属子句的主词哦，并把那一句的主词呢的动词改成现在分词。所以我们来看一下以下的句子。Before Catherine went to bed, she drank a cup of hot chocolate. 所以呢，在 Catherine 去睡觉之前呢，她喝了一杯热巧克力。那在这边两句的主词都是同一个人，所以我们就可以呢，把 before 后面的 Catherine 去掉，改成 going， 就是变成 go 的分词哦。我们就可以说成 Before going to bed, Catherine drank a cup of hot chocolate.
Okay, so 5 words in this sentence. We'll have to keep going back to it to make sure everyone can follow. The first word we want to talk about is the verb boil. To boil something, you cook it in boiling water. And to kind of understand what that means, you need to know another meaning of boil, which is to heat a liquid until it turns into gas. For water, boiling happens at 100 degrees Celsius.So if you boil food like pasta or rice or something else, you heat water until it's steaming, then put the food in it until it's soft. We often boil potatoes and other vegetables.Yeah,
所以 boil 就是有煮沸的意思，所以水开了就是 the water is boiling， 就是现在开了。那煮过的水呢，其实用法不一样，我们就会说 the water is boiled， 代表已经煮沸过了。So in this article, it works as a verb. As soon as the water started boiling, Ben added his noodles to the pot. 所以开水一滚，班就把他的面加到锅子里面去了。And in this case, we're boiling charred leaves.Okay,
so charred leaves. These are the leaves of a large, green, leafy vegetable. They're often used in Italian, Spanish, Greek, and other European cooking. Now, there are many different names for charred, but for this, all you need to know, it's a big green leaf, and you can eat it raw in salads, or you can cook it.
就是甜菜的叶子，那可以用在各种不一样的料理当中啊，像是意大利料理、西班牙、希腊或是欧式料理当中，可以当沙拉吃，也可以煮过再吃。So we boil these charred leaves, huh? And what next?
Next, we stuff the leaves.When we're talking about food, the verb to stuff means to fill one kind of food with other things, usually that add flavor. So think of baozi. Baozi can be stuffed with pork, tofu, vegetables, and other things. Sweet buns are stuffed with red beans, taro, or other things like that.You would stuff chickens and turkeys with herbs and vegetables before you cook them, and this helps flavor the meat.We could also use the word stuff to talk about pushing things into a bag or a pocket. So you fill the bag or pocket up quickly and not really very carefully until it's full.OK,
所以 stuff 这个字呢，在这边是当动词，有塞进去、填满的意思。For instance, Mary stuffed her backpack with a bunch of snacks. Mary 用好多点心把背包塞满。So stuff means to fill something. So when somebody is stuffed, it means they have filled themselves with too much food and they can't eat anymore. 有吃太饱的意思。所以如果你太饱，你就可以说 I am stuffed. 我太饱了。Or she stuffed herself with grapes. 她吃太多葡萄了。So the boiled charred leaves are stuffed, but what with?
As the article says, the boiled charred leaves are stuffed with a mixture of things. A mixture means one thing that contains many parts. So if you think of a latte, that is a mixture of coffee, steamed milk, and sometimes a flavor like vanilla or caramel.The Taiwanese sauce, sanbei, is a mixture of soy sauce, sesame oil, and rice wine, or maybe sugar, depending on the dish.
So mixture 就是有混合物的意思，把很多东西混在一起 a mixture of something. So it came from the word mix, which could be a noun as well as a verb. 所以当它是动词的时候呢，这个 mix 就是有把东西混合变成一个物质的意思。 But when it is a noun, it works almost like the word mixture. Yeah. And 所以你可以说啊 the city is a mixture of all the new buildings. 就是这座城市有新旧建筑物混合在一起。So right, we're nearly done. So what is the mixture that's stuffed into the boiled chard leaves? We see that there's meat, cheese, and flour.
Okay, so flour. This is the last one of this big long sentence of complicated words to explain. And flour is what you get when you take some kind of grain and crush it into powder. And that powder is called flour, and you use it to make things dough. Okay, so rice flour, you get rice and you smash it up into powder, and you use that flour to make noodles and other things. You use a different kind of flour to make bread and cake dough. Flour can be used to make all sorts of things, and you can even add it to soups and sauces just to make them a little thicker.
所以 flour 就是面粉，任何谷类磨成的粉都可以叫做 flour. So right here, we're using it as a noun. 所以你可以说啊 to make this cake, you'll need flour, sugar, butter, and eggs. 做这个蛋糕你需要面粉、糖、奶油跟一些蛋。But 它可以当动词哦，所以譬如说当动词就是有把面粉撒在表面上的意思，或者是有把谷类磨成粉的意思。And that's it. A lot of words to explain there, but we've now explained exactly what capons are.
Exactly. So, yeah, you boil these green leaves, you stuff them with a mix of cheese and flour and a bit of meat. So, just to give you kind of a better idea of what they actually look like when you're done, the article explains, in the end, capons look like little green dumplings. So they're like leaf dumplings. Instead of like a skin on the outside, it's a leaf, and it's got meat and cheese and flour inside, so it's kind of thick and a little chewy. These actually do sound pretty good. I mean, for me, I'd get rid of the meat and maybe put in, I don't know, some big mushrooms or something. Like that, but yeah, you can kind of imagine what these might be, and I can imagine maybe you serve them with a little bit of sauce or something like that. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Okay, so next we see that Jamie loves the flavor and finds them unique.
So when we use the word unique, we mean it's not like any other thing. Now, in casual use, it can just be used to mean very special. It's a unique movie. It's a very special movie. But the true meaning of unique is it's the only one of its kind, or it's not like anything else in the whole world.
OK, 所以 unique 这个字就是有唯一的、独一无二的意思。所以日常生活中我们随口说啊 unique 这个字也可以代表一个东西很特别 something that is special. 所以你可以说啊 the story is unique in many ways. 就是这个故事在许多方面很特别，或者是你可以说某个歌手啦声音很特别 she's got a very unique voice.
Exactly. So the article finishes by saying, to learn about more delicious foods that are good for you, watch Jamie's Superfood Family Classics on TLC.
And that brings us to the end of our article. So now it's time for us to move on to today's For You chat question.
For You chat.
So today's question, we've kind of talked about, we talked about foreign food yesterday. Today is more about the other thing that Jamie was looking for. What do you feel are the healthiest foods, and why?
Well, I think for me, it's vegetables and fruits.
Yeah,
usually
sure.
I feel like I've gained too much weight recently. I'll start eating a bunch of vegetables and fruits.
Yeah.
And I'll drink a lot of water, but I'm not sure if water is counted as food.
It doesn't, but if you cut out things like, if you stop eating like rice and bread and flour, you need to drink more water to make sure your body has the right amount of kind of a good balance.
Okay, so what about you?
Well, sure, yes. Salads are going to be the most healthy foods. I guess often it's about the way you cook the food. Like if you take chicken and you deep fry it in oil, that's not so healthy.
Yeah.
But if you take the chicken and you grill it with no oil,
I think that's
then
healthy.
that's a lot healthier. I mean, people talk about the sort of more traditional Japanese diet being really healthy, and that's why Japanese people tend to live a long time. So, fish, steamed vegetables, that sort of thing, and just a bit of rice. So I know too much red meat is not particularly good for you.
Steak, beef, I don't...
Yeah, again, it's with food, it's all about like...
the way you cook it.
Well, not just that, but also moderation. Like, you don't eat too much of any one thing. Like, sure, bananas are healthy, right? But one of our other magazines wrote an article about if you eat too many bananas, you're actually still getting too much sugar.
Yeah.
So... Again, you don't go crazy and only eat bananas because that won't work. So you just don't eat too much of anything. That's basically the best way.
Yeah,
you can have
true.
a little bit of things like salt and oil and meat and cheese, but just don't go crazy on it.
Like a balanced diet.
That's it.
For American people, we eat like fried chicken. They eat fried chicken every day, but still they live a long life.
Not always. Again, but depends all about how much and what you eat it with, and if you're able to sort of exercise, you've got to balance that out. So, but yeah, healthy foods. What's apart from salad?
Coke every day.
I wouldn't drink Coke every day. No, I would water and tea. I probably have every day, but that's about it. Other healthy foods that what do I eat a lot of that's healthy? Maybe beans.
Beans.
Yeah, beans have got a lot of good. They kind of provide you with energy, but not kind of fat energy, and they give you healthy like protein your body needs, and they've got like good fiber, which is important for your body and making sure you go to the bathroom regularly, which is important for like your stomach health and things like that. Okay, so those are some healthy foods. Thanks for listening, everyone. We've come to the end of our article. For English for You, I'm Pat.
I'm Chickling.
We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Jamie's Superfood Family Classics. On his next trip, Jamie travels to Jeju, South Korea, to taste some kimchi. Koreans call it the spice of life and eat it with almost every meal. Kimchi is known to keep the stomach in tip-top shape. Jamie learns that the key to making good kimchi is time. After a lot of spices are added to the dish, the kimchi is stored in a cool place. The longer you leave it there, the better it will taste. Jamie's last stop is Switzerland. There, he tries capuns, a food that's rich in vitamin K. The chef who makes this dish for Jamie tells him it has been in his family for hundreds of years. After being boiled, fresh charred leaves are stuffed with a mixture of meat, flour, and cheese. In the end, capuns look like little green dumplings. Jamie loves the flavor and finds them unique. To learn about more delicious foods that are good for you, watch Jamie's Superfood Family Classics on TLC.
Vocabulary Review. Spice. I like Indian food because it uses a lot of spices. Vitamin. We get vitamin D from the sun through our skin, but it is also often added to milk. Boil. To cook noodles, first you start by boiling some water. Stuff. I can't stuff any more clothes in this bag. It's already full. Mixture. This soup is a mixture of tomatoes, carrots, beans, onions, and water. Flour. First, we need to mix the flour with 2 eggs. Then, we put in some milk.